The new Macan is without any doubt a highly successful car. From its launch, Porsche's hardworking staff in Leipzig couldn't build them as fast as people were ordering. And while the purists among us discuss the brand's loss of exclusivity by selling more and more cars, Porsche has already corrected its original goal from building 50,000 Macans per year to over 60,000 in 2015. Personally, I'm not really into SUVs, but as long as they earn Porsche the money to finance low-number specials like my beloved 911 GT3, I think they might have a value for us fans that gets overlooked. I also think every car with a Porsche badge on it needs to offer an outstanding driving experience. So I asked the nice people in Zuffenhausen for the fastest Macan that they could offer me to see if they can rightfully call it a sports car.
So, the Macan Turbo actually is the world's most powerful and fastest compact SUV on the market right now, as far as I know at least. And what that means is that unlike in cars like the Mercedes GLA 45 AMG or the Audi SQ3 RS, whatever they are called, you don't just get a boosted 4 or 5 cylinder engine in this car. The Macan Turbo actually has a proper 3.6 liter V6 engine that is bi-turbocharged and makes 400 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. So crazy numbers. And if I had to describe this car in one sentence, actually I would say it's bloody fast. It really is.
First impressions of the Macan are rather positive. I won't bore you with luggage space or headroom figures here, but there's enough of it even for a 6-foot tall German guy like me and your wife's weekly shopping. I did like the seating position a lot, which feels sportier than in the Cayenne and integrates the driver nicely into the car. This is usually the main reason why I don't like driving SUVs myself, and a factor that all too often gets overlooked by journalists, even though it can inspire much of the driver's confidence in the car.
Now I know you guys would laugh at me if I told you that this car feels like a sports car, but even an SUV can have something like a Porsche DNA in it, I think. And this Porsche DNA for me is defined by 3 really simple things: the sound, the straight line performance, and the way the car feels just in general. You know, how the steering feels, how it reacts to your inputs, how the transmission feels. These kind of things are very, very important and define the Porsche driving experience for me. So we talked about the performance already. In a straight line, I think this car is mighty fast, very impressive actually. What kind of performance you can get from this engine here. Sound, well, you tell me what you think about it. It sort of sounds a little bit like a V6 version of an AMG V8, if that makes sense to you guys. So it's a really pleasant sound actually, I think, and it's not too loud for people who want to drive this as a daily driver. Of course, you can always put it into the normal comfort mode and then it becomes much quieter, but the sound is actually pretty exciting, I think. It sounds good in my opinion, so I like the sound. So now to the most important point, what does this car actually feel like to drive apart from its straight line performance and the sound? Well, first of all I have to say, what defines driving a Porsche 911 for me and what makes it such a great driver's car, for those of you who have never driven a 911, this might be interesting, is just the fact how rock solid these cars feel and how planted they feel to the road, and you end up getting so much confidence from the car that, yeah, the better you can drive, the better these cars become, essentially. And this Macan, I have to say, has a lovely chassis. It's really impressive what they have done, considering that this car is based on the Audi Q5 actually, and for me that's not a very interesting car to begin with. First, there's safe understeer, but if you keep on pushing, the car's rear axle is really mobile, and that's the great agility actually that they have engineered into this chassis. That is so much fun, and yeah, just makes the Macan absolutely enjoyable to drive in a way that you really wouldn't expect from an SUV, you know? I just dart into the corners and yeah, it just works. You get into a flow with this car that is amazing and that is fun. Yeah, the Macan has the typical Porsche PDK transmission, which is lovely. I demonstrated you the launch control function, but it also has the coasting function, so you get a better fuel economy when the car automatically shifts into neutral when you lift your foot off the gas pedal. I demonstrated that already a few times in other videos that I've done about Porsche cars, so that's a very efficient way of reducing the fuel economy. And of course the speed of these PDK transmissions is just phenomenal. I mean, there's not much like it, I think. The PDK for me is the best automatic transmission in the world, without any doubt. So yeah, in the end I'm just really surprised how agile this car feels, how much confidence this gives you, and in the end, really, the verdict that I can give you guys about this car is that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Because I personally wouldn't expect a car that looks like this to feel the way the Macan does. It does feel like it has the proper Porsche DNA in it that we care about. And so in the end, for those people who drive a 911 as their weekend car and would love to have a second Porsche as a daily driver or as a company car, I think the Macan is a very attractive choice. I mean, personally I think it looks much more exciting than the Cayenne, and it also drives much nicer because it just has the right size, and yeah, it's a perfect daily driver. I mean, I'm driving this car here in the winter time with really slippery roads, and I have all the confidence in this car that I need, and yeah, the practicality is also really decent. I mean, so in the end, maybe not a surprise for you guys, but I really do like this car a lot, and I think I can definitely recommend it for those of you who want to have a Porsche, not just as their second and as their fun car, but as a daily driver or as a company car. So that's it from me. Now I would love to hear what you guys think about this car, and yeah, just shoot me your opinion in the comments, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Take care.